Jiri Prochazka, Alex Pereira. This is one of the most intriguing, interesting fights of 2023, and we get it on Saturday for the vacant light heavyweight title. Let's talk about how we got here and what to expect, or maybe what we are not expecting come Saturday evening in Madison Square Garden. Jiri Prochazka is back for the first time since June 12th of 2022 after a major shoulder injury that's put him on the shelf for, geez, what is that? Nearly a full year and a half at this point that he's been out of action. Maybe, I guess, not the full year and a half since the injury, but will be almost a year and a half of no activity. Nonetheless, he's returning to see if he can recapture the light heavyweight title that he beat Glover Teixeira for at that event in June of last year. And so much has happened in this division since Jiri has been fighting. Enter Alex Pereira, example number one. That is who he is fighting this weekend. And Alex literally won the middleweight title, lost the middleweight title, debuted at light heavyweight, fought and beat Jan Blachowicz to earn an opportunity to fight for the light heavyweight title, all in the time that Jiri has been out. And that is just crazy. The story and career of Alex Pereira is unlike anything we've really ever seen in the UFC. The guy just got inducted into the Glory Kickboxing Hall of Fame last week. Now he has a chance in what will be his seventh UFC fight to become a two-weight world champion. If he can pull that off this weekend, it will be one of the most astonishing accomplishments that we've ever seen in the octagon in mixed martial arts. Really, that's how incredible this opportunity is for Alex Pereira. But it's not going to come easy. As I said, Jiri is back. He is the former champion. He's 3-0 in the UFC. Literally, the man debuted after his stint in Ryzen against, at the time, a top contender in Volkan Oezdemir, a former title challenger in Volkan Oezdemir, stops him. Then he has a wild fight with Dominic Reyes, hits him with the spinning back elbow, knocks him out, earns the title fight, a fight of the year in 2022 against Glover Teixeira, submits him in the final 28 seconds of the fifth and final round in a fight that he was potentially on the verge of losing. I mean, can you have a more fascinating? This is one of the most intriguing, interesting dynamics we've had in a light heavyweight title fight in a long time. Maybe the most intriguing, fascinating ever if you want to add in like the storylines. John and DC would be hard to top, but my goodness, this is up there just off the top of my head. And then you don't even get into the X's and O's, right? Because of how interesting both of these stories are for these gentlemen that have now, they're going to have their paths cross this weekend in Madison Square Garden. Alex Pereira, add on top of this crazy career and accomplishments that he's had in such a short amount of time, he's going to be the first fighter in the UFC's history to headline at MSG 2 different times. He beat Israel Adesanya for the middleweight title, and now he has a chance to become a champion again up a weight class at light heavyweight. It is just crazy everything that has gone on to allow these gentlemen to fight one another. And I don't know why I'm calling them gentlemen so many times. I said it twice in like 35 seconds. This is mixed martial arts, Dom. What are you doing? It's blood, sweat, and tears in this game. But this is awesome. This is, again, one of the most interesting fights, I think, of the entire calendar year of 2023. It really is a massive fight for both of their careers. It's a massive fight for the current and future state of the light heavyweight division as we get ready to head in to 2024, because you look at both guys, there are so many matchups that are fresh for them both, and it makes things really exciting in a division that does need some excitement. The light heavyweight has been one of the less than stellar weight classes over the past few years since John Jones has decided to kind of hang it up for 205 pounds. But this feels like a breath of fresh air. It really does. It means a lot. You have a lot of good talent. I mean, just look at the champion that gave up the belt in order for this to become vacant, in Jamal Hill. I mean, look what he had to do to earn that title. He is a fresh matchup for both of these fighters. He is likely going to get the crack at the winner of this next, since the Magomed Ankalaev and Johnny Walker fight ended in a dud, a few weeks ago. And then you look at that fight right there, Magomed Ankalaev, Johnny Walker, inevitably probably going to get ran back. The winner of that is a fresh face for both guys. You go down, a little further in this weight class, the return of Alexander Rakic is looking like it's going to happen maybe early 2024. Rumored to maybe be running it back with Jan Blachowicz, the fight where his injury occurred. So we'll kind of see and monitor that situation. But I mean, yeah, you look at that, there is just a lot of fresh faces, some health. Well, then again, health is what got us to a vacant title spot, but you get the point. The division is in a healthy state right now with a lot of promising fighters to be in the title mix for this upcoming next couple of years. And I don't know if I can. Me and Noah had this conversation, I think, about Jiri in specific. The thought of if he can be a long reigning champion, and he has the ability to do so. It's just a matter of, is he going to fight? Is he going to have the fight IQ to go along with the ability that he has to be a long reigning champion? That is yet to be seen. That's another reason to be excited for this fight. How is he going to approach one of the most dangerous strikers in the UFC? A kickboxing multi-time world champion, as I said, a Glory Kickboxing Hall of Famer now in Alex Pereira. And for Alex, he's not fought a wild man like Jiri. The closest thing in the UFC that he's had to that was Bruno Silva, but Jiri takes the cake if you want to talk craziness over Bruno Silva. So how is Alex going to do as such a fantastic, powerful counter striker? Is he going to catch Jiri coming in and be done and dusted? Like, could this be an easy, quote unquote, fight for Alex as compared to other styles and matchups at light heavyweight right now? I don't know. And, the same can be said for Jiri here. Alex is probably one of the hardest fights that Jiri can have. I mean, Jamal Hill is definitely a super intriguing fight. The Alexander Rakic definitely doesn't get the respect he deserves in terms of his high level skill set that he carries. Jan Blachowicz is definitely still a player in the top 5 right now. So it is very, very good, times for this division, and it is something that is very needed. This fight, I got asked today, as a matter of fact, at work, what are you thinking? How are you leaning? No clue. And the odds should tell you that a lot of people don't have a clue. Plus 102 for the former champion Jiri Prochazka, minus 122 for the former middleweight champion, now turned light heavyweight Alex Pereira. Are the odds that way because of Pereira's success in his debut against Jan Blachowicz? Is it because of the layoff and injury of Jiri Prochazka? I feel like I'd have to go with the latter there. Alex's fight with Jan was solid. He showed takedown defense, had to fend that off much more than any of his prior UFC fights. He had to. It was the pace of that fight was very tiresome, and he showed that his gas tank could hold up for 3 rounds. I think there's definitely good takeaways from that fight, but I don't think everything that he showed in that fight makes him the favorite in this. I think it's a mixture of Jiri coming back after so long off, a wild man. You don't know how Yuri is going to, approach this fight. These are 2 massive men as well, 63 or 6'3", 6'4", 80-inch reach versus 79. I mean, nearly virtually identical. You add on the ponytail, if you will, of Jiri Prochazka. He's about 7'2", but we'll look past that for this weekend. This is going to be awesome. It really is going to be a great fight. I can't see a world where this is boring. I feel like this is going to be a fight where you're going to be on the edge of your seat, on the tips of your toes. What's going to happen next? Is Jiri going to land this big, wild, crazy flurry of strikes? Is Alex going to counter perfectly in one punch KO Jiri? Like, there's a lot that is going to happen in the cage, whether it's a 1-minute fight or a 25-minute fight. I'm all aboard for this one. This is a great matchup here. Who wants it? Who wants to be the light heavyweight champion as we get cracking into a new calendar year? Let me know what your guys' predictions are for this fight. Who's going to win? Jiri, is he going to be a 2-time light heavyweight champion? Is Alex Pereira going to make history and just keep adding to I heard Dean Thomas say this the other day to Michael Bisping. He's literally in 6 UFC fights, soon to be 7, already in a argumental way made himself a UFC Hall of Famer. That is wild to wrap your head around. So let me know all of your thoughts on this fight, your predictions, how you think it's going to go. Are you betting a certain way in this fight? Give me everything that you're thinking in the comments below. Drop a like on this video if you're new to the channel. Subscribe so you never miss a recap, a breakdown, breaking fight news, fight announcements, everything in between. You can find that here on the Below Average Joe's MMA show. And I'll see you for the heavyweight breakdown for UFC 295 Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall in the next video.